You know the feeling, right? You're sitting in front of a slot machine. You hear that sound, the reels spinning, that whirring, that clicking. And then there's that moment. The reels lock into place, the lights start flashing, and the whole machine just erupts in a symphony of celebration. And for that one split second, you feel like you've cracked the code, like you've won.
But what if that win you're celebrating isn't a win at all? What if it's actually a loss in disguise? Well, that's the strange paradox we're going to unravel today.
We're diving into the world of something called phantom wins. And let me tell you, it's one of the cleverest and maybe one of the most powerful psychological tricks you'll find on any casino floor.
So what exactly is a phantom win? Well, it's pretty simple. It's any spin where the machine pays you back, but it pays you back less than what you bet. The catch is, the machine treats it like a huge victory.
Let's just walk through a really simple example to make it crystal clear. Say you bet $1 on a spin. The machine does its thing, and then boom, you win 30 cents. Immediately, lights flash, music plays, the whole 9 yards. Everything is screaming at you, you won. But let's do the math. You bet $1, you got 30 cents back. You didn't gain 30 cents, you actually lost 70 cents.
And right there, that's the heart of the illusion. Your brain, your emotions, they feel the thrill of a win. It feels like you just gained 30 cents, but the cold, hard reality is you just lost 70. The machine is literally celebrating you losing money. And I want to be really clear about this. This is not some kind of glitch or a bug in the system. Oh no, this is a very deliberate, very carefully engineered feature. It's designed for one reason and one reason only, to keep you in that seat spinning.
So, the big question is, why on earth does this work so well? I mean, we're not stupid, right? Well, that brings us to the psychology of it all. How does this simple little trick so effectively fool our brains?
You see, it all comes down to how we're wired. Our brains respond way more powerfully to loud, flashy, sensory signals than they do to boring old numbers. Your brain doesn't really care about the logic of your balance slowly ticking down. What it cares about are the immediate rewards, the bright lights, the exciting sounds, all those cues that scream success. The phantom win basically hijacks that ancient instinctual part of our brain. Here's a fantastic way to think about it, an analogy from the source material. It's like someone handing you this beautifully wrapped gift. For a second, you get that jolt of excitement, that joy of receiving something, but then you open the box, and all that's inside is a bill that you have to pay. Okay, but this is where the story takes a really fascinating turn. There's a whole neurochemical side to this illusion. What does all that false positive reinforcement actually do to your brain chemistry? Now, get this, because it's kind of mind-blowing. Studies have shown that a phantom win, remember, that's a net loss, can trigger a stronger dopamine release in your brain than a small, actual, legitimate win. Let that sink in. Your brain can get more of that reward chemical from losing money than from winning it, simply because of how it's presented. And that little hit of dopamine, it's incredibly powerful. It's what creates that feeling that you're on a roll, that you're close to hitting the big one. It's like the universe is whispering in your ear, just keep going, you're almost there. It keeps you chasing. But chasing what exactly? A big win or just a bigger loss? And that powerful psychological loop is precisely why modern slot machines are often called one of the most addictive forms of gambling on the planet. So let's connect the dots and look at how this all builds up into an incredibly addictive design. You can see all the pieces here, right? The genius of the design is that the machines don't have to actually reward you very often. They just have to pretend to. Every one of those so-called mini-wins is just chipping away at your money, while all the lights and sounds are distracting you from that reality. It is a perfectly choreographed dance between you and the machine.
But here's the good news. Understanding how the trick works is the first step to disarming it. So how do you fight back? Let's talk about actually seeing through the illusion.
It really boils down to one simple, powerful concept. Awareness changes everything. Once you know what a phantom win is, once you can name it, you can spot it happening in real time. And once you can spot it, its power over you starts to fade.
So what are the practical steps to regain control? Well, first, you have to consciously make the decision to see through the illusion. When the machine goes off, train yourself to stop celebrating a loss. Remind yourself not to confuse all that sensory stimulation with actual success. And here's the big one. Make a habit of checking your actual balance, not the flashy celebration on the screen. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful player in any casino isn't the luckiest one. It's the one who sees things for what they really are, especially when all the lights are trying their best to blind them.
So, the next time you hear a slot machine celebrating what it calls a win, just take a beat. Check the numbers. Look past the noise. Because, as we've learned, sometimes the loudest wins are really just the quietest losses. And that, right there, is the secret of the phantom win.